Shalom, shalom. Real quick, I want to say this, and I really want this to be understood. No matter what it is that you say, that you profess, that you declare and decree, no matter what you put on Facebook, how you maneuver in life truly indicates what you believe. It truly shows and depicts the mind in which you operate in. It does not matter the words that come out of your mouth if what you do is in opposition to that which you speak. If there is no correlation between the two, then it's vanity and it's manipulation. All right? So I say that to this next point. So those of you who identify this is weird to even use that word these days, who identify and has awakened to your Hebrew heritage, but you still operate and maneuver with a Western mindset and Western ideals or even Western theology, you might as well throw the heritage away. Understand this, that it does not actually matter what words you use to try to convince people that you can do this and that, or that you believe thus and so. It does not matter what words you use, how much charisma you have, what intellectual prowess that you are able to display with your vernacular. None of that actually matters. What matters is what you do, because what you do actually highlights that which you believe, which is actually in you. Okay, so it is your actions that's either going to confirm and establish you, or it's going to be your actions that's going to be your demise and your destruction. So let me read this scripture real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus 22 verses 9 and 10. It says, "If children live honestly and have wherewithal, they shall cover the baseness of their parents. But children, being haughty through disdain and want of nurture, do stain the nobility of their kindred." All right. So one thing that we have to pay attention here is that it says children. Now, let's not look at the term that's being used there to try to omit our responsibility in this. It applies to you as well. So, but in this day and age, in our Western culture that we live in, that we actually still draw from, it has become popular to expose people, to feel as though you have this duty to speak against something that you don't agree with in a public format, in a public way, in order to almost try to reflect some form of righteousness on your end. And amazingly, that us as Hebrew people, as Hebrew men, we still do this. I've seen it. Understand this, that when we look at Genesis, and I'm not going to read it, you can go there on your own, it's Genesis 9. But when we have the incident with Noah, how Noah became a man of the soil, he became a man of the earth, and then he planted himself a vineyard, and then he began to make wine, and he drank from that, and he got drunk. What happened was Canaan goes inside the tent. He sees his father naked. And instead of covering him, he went to go tell his brothers. Now, the text doesn't say what he actually said or anything like that, but you don't need to know, because the actions of his brothers showed what he actually felt. So his brothers, he went out there to speak to them, and his brothers, Shem and Japheth, they come in and they literally walk backwards with a sheet to cover their father. And of course we know Noah wakes up, he curses Canaan. Understand that it is our responsibility as men, as sons, to cover our father. It is our responsibility not to expose him, not to tell everyone about his every flaw and mistake that we believe that he has made. It is our job to cover him. It is the good sons, in this instance, like Shem and Japheth, who covered their father in this situation, in this non-flattering situation, where he covers them and they get a blessing. And Canaan, who took it upon himself to leave him as is and go out and speak, even though we don't know what was being spoken, but went out to speak to his brothers and talk to them about what he saw, instead of actually doing something to hide the shame of his father, to hide the nakedness of his fathers. He rather exposed this. And so it is our responsibility. Make sure, we may have some fractured relationships with our fathers, but it is not our duty to go out there and criticize him. It is not our duty to go out there and try to project ourselves to be something greater, because in reality, we are our fathers. So instead of being one who wants to expose him, cover him. Be Shem. Cover your father. That's our responsibility as sons. Instead of having this disdain for our fathers, to act like they're not worthy, cover them. Instead of exposing them, talking bad about them, cover them. Steady being quick to blame him, cover him. Instead of making it your life's mission to prove that you can do better than him as a father, cover him. Instead of being quick to fault him, cover him. Instead of going around belittling him, criticizing him, exposing what you perceive to be his failures and shortcomings to people, cover him. You're exposing the nakedness of your father. Cover him. Be Shem. Cover him. We're Hebrews, right? We're supposed to be Hebrew men. Cover your father. It does you no good. It is not a glory to you to dishonor your father. Cover him. By not being the one to be quick to judge, expose, to find fault, to proclaim where your father was lacking, but you take the humble approach and you cover him. And you say and you acknowledge that, he did the best he could. He did the best he knew how to do. With the resources that he had, with the information he was given, he did the best he knew how to do. Instead of trying to build yourself up while bringing him down, cover him. Instead of complaining to your peers, talk to someone who has the receipts, the resume that says that they have the ability to help guide you in your understanding of this. And they will teach you how to cover him. You need to consider this, because what you do, say what you really believe. And if you really believe that you're Hebrew and that you really believe in the commandments, that one that says honor thy father. I know it's two parts. You got the mother one down pretty good. Just two parts. And the first part says honor thy father. Then it says thy mother. And your days will be long. Cover him. Because what you do, not what you say, but what you do will demonstrate the faith in what you proclaim to have. That's all I got. Till next time, I'm Amir Ryder. Peace and shalom.